Hi Virgo, this is Healing and Reach Tarot. This channel brings you messages from your soul to realign you towards more balance, peace, and best case scenario decisions in your life. So thanks for joining me. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And just to be clear, this video is a general reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising sign of Virgo in the month of July 2020. If it resonates, that's great. If it doesn't, or you would like more personalized reading, I am free to do that for you. In the description box below, there's a link for that. I also am a body worker and energy healer of 20 years, and I also do energy healings. So to powerfully realign your soul to your soul and bring in more balance, peace, harmony, love, wisdom, that all comes through in these healing sessions. So, and last but not least, I am now creating and selling my own body butters. They are mango butter and almond oil combination whipped, and they come in 3 scents: lavender, mint, rosemary, lemon, and geranium rose. The link below will have all these, all that information. Mango butter is high in antioxidant properties of vitamin A, C, and E, and I'll have a description for some of the properties. It's very soothing butter. It's very good for skin rashes conditions like psoriasis, eczema. It's also good for anti-aging, skin elasticity, firmness, and it also has an SPF around 6 to 15, so there is some sun UV protection there as well. So let's jump right into your reading, Virgo, and we are going to start with our watercolor kitty cat deck to see what soul messages come in overall for you. Sun, Moon, Rising sign of Virgo for the month of July. Haha. All right. We get adventure. Meet Lion Mew. He is an adventurer, an explorer, a traveler, and a seeker of lost worlds. He likes to feel the wind rippling his fur and the excitement of not quite knowing what he might discover next. It is time to leave the safe havens of your comfy home and routine to seek out distant shores and unknown lands. Widen your circle of experience and step into a different point of view. Distance and diversity gives you a shift in perspective. Home never looks the same from afar. Remember, the journey outward illuminates the journey inward. Live your life as a grand adventure. All right, Virgo, so bringing in that adventure quality in the month of July as a guiding soul alignment message. So now we're going to move into tarot and see what else we can reveal for you. Coming in for Sun, Moon, Rising sign of Virgo. You hear me sighing. It's very hot in this room I'm in. I'm starting to cook. What's coming in for the Sun, Moon, Rising sign of Virgo for the month of July 2020? What's coming in for the sign of Virgo? Sun, Moon, or Rising sign for the month of July. All right. Whew, okay, got lots of powerful stuff going on here, Virgo. Goodness. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards. Yeah, so that's more than half is major arcana, so got some big shifts going on here. So I'm just going to be silent and let the information come into my mind and heart. I'm definitely feeling that there's a huge transformation, an inner transformation happening for you, or possible for you, Virgo. I'm definitely getting that there's a call to it, that it's possible that you're coming in as a seeker of, you know, the Seven of Cups, which is like, typically it's like a fantasy card. It's like, well, I dreamer card, like I could have this cup or that cup or this cup. So there's definitely an element of, you're coming in as that energy. You're coming in as the seeker of like fantasy. So this and the adventure card lining up with the fantasy card, and then the death card crosses you. It's like major transformation is coming about by you seeking more adventure or looking outside the box of like your normal mundane routine. Like, what could I dream up? What adventure could I dream up that would enliven me? And that question is bringing about deep transformation for you. So, that's powerful. Okay, and you have in the near future the Sun card, which is like the most positive card in the deck. So I feel like as you honor this, what you're coming in as this seeker of like honoring choices that bring in adventure, honoring choices that bring in like fantastical movements, like honoring fantasy, like moving out of just being so grounded all the time, like letting yourself dream a little. You coming in as that and honoring that is going to manifest into the Sun. So that's really powerful and beautiful, and I encourage you in that direction. I feel like you were going in the wrong direction in your recent past, and you've realized this. I feel like that's part of the motivation, this realization around needing to be open to fantasy or adventure, that has happened because you realized you were going in the wrong direction before. In some way, shape, or form, you realized, whether it was mental, whether it was emotional, or a combination, or, you know, just like, oh, whoops, nope, I'm off track. Okay, I realize. And what is going to, like, I feel like you're already kind of coming in realizing this. So that just highlights that for me, just to say that out to you, back to you. You may be conscious of that already. Yeah, because I feel like beneath you is the Emperor, so it's a very powerful, commanding card. So it's like, you know your world, you know yourself, you know your power. You're in command of your life in lots of ways, and there's no mystery with what's happening, I think. You're very conscious of it, and hopefully this is just resonating as verification for what you've already been feeling. So if it wasn't that clear, hopefully me saying it out to you makes it even clearer if it's not clear already. What crowns you is the High Priestess. So even though you are honoring this movement towards adventure and fantastical possibilities, there still is an inner movement of deep listening and transformation. Or that you honor deep listening through this transformative process. So there's a call or a feeling to honor deep listening through this process. And I get that it's because you have so many major arcana cards, which basically means these are big movements. It's not just big life movements inside of you, transformative movements inside of you. So deep listening is needed for that. And you have the Tower in your position for yourself. It may feel Yeah, okay. Okay, it's coming together now. Your deep listening is needed because this tower is challenging you to honor this. It doesn't feel that easy. You know that's what you need to do, but it doesn't feel that easy because it feels challenging to your sense of self. It shakes things up about yourself in a way that feels threatening a little bit. So hopefully this reading will validate it, that it's the right thing for your soul to do, which is to honor more adventure, honor more following fantasies, or like what brings you alive through having choices, to not be always nailed down to the routine or the known. So honoring that can feel a little challenging. You're definitely coming in as a little guarded also in your outer environment. But if you put this in a soul context, you can take it out of that fear. I feel like if you look at it from a soul level, it's not really about, you losing a part of yourself that's needed. It's more like losing a part of yourself that wasn't needed. So when you put it in a soul context, I feel like it redefines and makes it a lot less scary to choose this. Because if your soul is guiding you, it's not going to lead you in the wrong direction. Your hopes and fears, I feel like you feel a little like disempowered by past choices where you reached for butterflies in the sun and happiness, but it only left you feeling sadness and loss. That's a fear. So let's keep it in the fear context. That is a fear. That is often sometimes how we feel in life, that we're just not making choices that bring happiness somehow. We don't know how that happens, but that's when it keeps happening. Kind of like negative self-talk around this is also what I'm hearing. So be aware of your fear that reaching for the heights of possibilities that are undefined, that's going to necessarily bring you defeat or unhappiness. No, it just feels that way because it's kind of like a negative tape that's running in your background that's trying to protect you, but it's just a fear. So how do we get around this? How do we stay aligned here, Virgo? You get the Lovers as your final outcome. I keep hearing for you, how do you keep yourself aligned with this transformation? And the answer that comes through this card and that's coming through as a message in my mind is keep putting it in a spiritual context. Keep the fantasy or the adventure or this transformation in a spiritual context. Upgrade it to the level of spirit. Upgrade it to the level of soul. Ask your soul. Say, higher self, soul, like, what would an adventure feel like and look like to me? So as soon as you do that, as soon as you ask it from that place, you make the choice to ask it from that soul level, all the fears will vanish and it'll become much clearer how to move into this transformative process of adventure and, fantasy is kind of coming to life, like dream states coming to life. Seven of Cups coming to life. All right, let me see. I'm going to clarify the final outcome card. And then we'll tie it up. But I think that was all pretty clear already. But just to kind of bring in a little bit more, maybe clarifying the Lovers card, but also bringing in advice. So maybe one or two cards in that vein. Aha, Seven of Pentacles. Let's see if we can get another jumper and the Four of Pentacles. Aha. Yeah, okay, so this is amazing because this is the Seven of Cups, but aligned with your soul. So the Seven of Cups becomes the Seven of Pentacles when it's aligned with your soul, because she still has the dreams in her head, like around her heart and above her head, like all the fantastical adventures and possibilities are swirling around in her head, but she's aligned with her soul, so then they become actual practical steps and realities that she gets to enjoy, that she gets to actually go do. So there's like a practical earthy element and a realistic element that manifests, the path forward manifests when you align the fantasy to your soul. That's the message. So this just came in like extra clarification. I'm glad I did the clarifying. And then the Four of Pentacles is kind of like the advice card here, which is saying like, don't let yourself stay in the box. Like, there's the sun shining. Like, let's break those walls down. Let yourself sail on the open sea, not just in one little small portion of it. It's almost like ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You can't do that. All right, so I hope that helps for you, to guide you in the month of July for more joy and soul alignment and adventure. I'm excited for you, Virgo. So have a fantastic July. If this resonated, I'd love to hear your comments below. And subscribe if you haven't already to receive more videos. And I hope to be back mid-July with a mid-monthly reading. What else? And I guess that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Love and light.